bayou, you gotta get down in the mud to find the good stuff. It's dark, it's dangerous, and we don't give a shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Coonass podcast. I am so sorry about this shit going on. I'm trying to do a bunch of fucking things at once, but I got it going now. As you can see, I got a new fucking background. I got all this cool shit going on, and I'll tell you all about it. So, without further ado, we have a jam-packed show, and let's get this motherfucker started. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing? It's been a bit, but I am here. You might have heard the echo. I apparently have like a couple. Again, I'm live streaming to 3 platforms at one time now, and of course, the beginning of the damn podcast, I'm about to hurry up and start doing the shit. I'm like, oh my fucking god, my theme music. So what I was doing, you heard the repeating of the beginning of the song. I was trying to get the shit fixed. Now, I have a new setup, so I need some help from you guys tonight. I need y'all to type in some chat for me. I need to test this right now, okay? So I have it set up on Restream. Now, Restream is a neat old thing that I can stream up to 3 accounts at once. Now, I could do more, but I'm testing it out before I decide to pay money to see if it works. Now, I also have the Restream Messenger, so I'm looking up here, and there's 3 people watching so far. I think, might be more, not sure. But I'm supposed to have this messenger that in all 3 platforms, if somebody types me a message, I'm supposed to get it. Okay? So I need your help. So throughout the stream, please, ladies and gentlemen, please type me a message. Call me an asshole. I don't care. But just type something to me so I can see if this shit works. Okay? Now, without further ado, let's get on with the show. Now, it's great to be back. Second show of 2021. I should have had a lot more, guys, but health update. Hopefully starting in the new shit soon. So, just letting you know. Now, this stream, today's show, we're going to talk about and have some certain people falling on their head. A certain person is falling on his head because, you know, when we have change in America, or we have change in the presidential office or whatever the case may be, you know, we have these change that goes on. Now, sometimes change is good and sometimes change is bad. Okay, I'm gonna be real. Because you know, there's some things I just don't understand. Number one, I can't understand why this country is so separated as it is. Well, I've gone over the last podcast with the polarization of the parties and all that stuff, but I still don't understand how it continues. I don't understand why it continues to be as bad as it is. I don't understand why this world is the way it is right now. Okay? Asshole, yeah! Thank you, Jarrett. It did pop up. All right, awesome. So, my chat works! Woohoo! Fantastic. Now, we're going to go over some shit tonight. And I want you to, when I go over this shit, whatever political party you're a part of, I want you to throw it out the fucking window and just listen to what I'm saying, okay? I don't want to hear your party politics. I'm gonna be real, because your party sucks. Both parties suck. They suck ass, because all they do is separate people. So this podcast, I'm gonna ask you, if you can't do that, then don't watch the damn podcast, because this is important, okay? This is important shit, okay? The reason why I'm saying this is because there's some crazy shit that's going on right now, ladies and gentlemen, that you're not aware of. Okay? Not aware of. You know, everybody is in their little microcosm. We need to get in the macrocosm. We need to see what's going on in the world, because, you know, heaven forbid, you know, shit gets really crazy really quick, you know, then what you gonna do? Okay? Now, this isn't gonna be a doom and gloom podcast, okay? This is gonna talk about a few things that I find a little crazy, a little interesting. You know, why the hell, you know, somebody fell on their head, and that's exactly what we're going to go over. So let's just get started. Okay, so the first thing I pull up, Biden signs executive order on Supreme Court Reform Commission. Now, I have a problem with this. I have a major problem. So pretty much, this was on Yahoo and Politico. And pretty much, everybody knows Trump put some people in when Ruth Ginsburg died. He put in Amy Coney Barrett. Okay, so installing a 6-3 majority of justices nominated by Republican presidents. Okay, fine. But this is what I don't understand. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and change shit because you don't like it the way it is. I mean, there has to be a checks and balances going on in this country. Okay, at least the way things are going, and let's be real for a second, ladies and gentlemen, with the non-protection of voters and voter fraud in this country, we're going to need a last beacon of hope, to make sure things are equal. Now, when I say that, just think back. If you're at least 30, 40 years old or older, during the 90s, we had prosperity because, in certain part of the 90s, because we had a Democratic president that got along with a Republican Congress, and it was something called compromise, okay? That needs to come back. I don't give a shit what party you're on. That needs to come back. If you can't understand that, then understand this. If you want to separate a half of the country from the other and incite a civil war, then be my guest. But my friend, I'm not one of those people. Sorry. I think killing of people is just a dumb fucking act. But with this, ladies and gentlemen, this is scary. Because now a sitting president can just change the Constitution when he wants. No, motherfucker, it's called a vote. You have to have the public vote for that shit. You can't do a fucking presidential, executive order to try. So he wants to do an investigation. Well, you know what? That's not him to investigate. He is part of the executive branch. He executes the law. If you want an investigation, that's Congress's job. Okay? So have Pelosi and them do this shit. This is overstepping his bounds. I'm sorry. This is stupid. This 36-member commission to be co-chaired by Bob Bauer, who led the Biden campaign's legal strategy. How about if you're going to have a leadership, how about a dual leadership, a Republican and a Democrat? And that way it's nonpartisan. But oh no, ladies and gentlemen, we want to change the fucking Supreme Court. The guy's been in office for 180 fucking days. He already wants to change the Supreme Court. Yeah, that's great. So, but look, this guy Breyer at Harvard Law issued a warning to advocates of overhauling the Supreme Court. By doing so risks eroding the trust into the institution, and that they should think long and hard about the ramifications in a speech given virtually to Harvard Law students. He's right. So what's next you're going to do? You're going to change the amount of representatives in the House of Reps and the Senate? What are you going to do next? You're going to start changing state courts and shit? This is not good, ladies and gentlemen, and you should be fucking on the phone with your fucking representative right now telling them to fight against this shit. They need to leave the damn court of law alone. The Supreme Court, leave it alone. You got older people that are gonna, they're gonna pass on, and then the Democrats, and they'll be able to put their people in. I mean, shit, that's how it works. How long do we have a bunch of Democrats on the damn Supreme Court? I mean, it just, that's how it flows. It ebbs and flows. Whoever's in power. I mean, God dang it. I mean, you people, it's getting to a point, and I'm sorry, Democrats, I want to root for Democrats every now and then. Democratic people, look, if you're part of the Democrat Party, just listen up, okay? I know y'all have, your ideas. Some of your ideas are great, like health care for everyone. Yeah, that's fine. But you can't figure out how to do that without making everybody poor, okay? So, sometimes I want to root for that shit, but you know what? This I can't root for, okay? You want to change the Supreme Court. This is not good. Let have a constitutional amendment that will do that. Don't do it this way. This is going to cause a can of worms, and you're going to lose. Okay, so this is stupid. This is dumb. Now, here's the second thing I want to touch on. I wanted to touch on that. Y'all read up on that and check that out later on for yourselves. This, not that, this. God damn it. No, not Audible. Get the fuck off. God, I hate these ads. COVID cases, hospitalizations up 20% of Americans fully, despite Americans getting vaccinated. Huh. You know, I question this vaccine, and not because I'm not questioning to have a vaccine against COVID. Okay, let's get that out the way. I talked about this last podcast, but I really want to talk about this on this podcast because, you know, this kind of hits close to home. It's too late. Okay, Jared, it's too late. Conservatives have taken the opportunity to make voting fair when they were in control of all three branches of government. Now, there's no checks and balances to control. No amount of shouting or reps is going to stop them. They're going to make it impossible for anyone other than themselves to win the election. They will change everything to win, and no one will do shit. Well, you see, that's what that kind of thinking is what I'm afraid of, my friend, because that's when people are going to start pushing back. And I can't get into details, but look up Operation Sunshine. That's all I can tell you. There is a movement going on that I'm aware of called Operation Sunshine. I won't talk about it on this podcast, but let's just say that this is something that you need to look up for yourselves, and if you want more details, get with me later on. But again, back to the COVID. So, and let's go back to that. Let's go back to this. Let's have a discussion about that. So, you know, Jared brings up a little point. The thing is, ladies, this is where it gets scary, ladies and gentlemen, is when these parties get too much power. And I want somebody got to be the first to push. They disappear. No, trust me, this will happen. Okay, I'm going to get into why the pushing is going to start later on in the podcast. I'm glad you brought that up because actually, that is I have there is a specific thing that will spark it, and I have my suspicions, but there is a specific thing that if one side does to the other, it will spark it and it will blow the hell up like wildfire, and that's not a good thing for this country. But back to the Supreme Court. These justices are supposed to be bipartisan, technically, ladies and gentlemen. These justices are supposed to actually take rule of law and not legislate from the bench. And I will be honest with you that both sides have had some type of legislation from the bench, whether it be from circuit judges or whatever. You know what people don't know. Yeah, the Republican Party has the Supreme Court, but what people don't know is that Biden fired like a bunch of judges that were on appellate courts and stuff. So they've already kind of, let's just get all these Democrat judges in there, okay? And no party should be doing that. Once a judge is set in place, look at the judge's record. Don't look at whether or not what party they're part of. I mean, and that's why judges are legislating from the bench, because they know that they've been looked at because of their parties, and then they have to do what their party tells them because they have no backbone. Judges are horrible. Okay, I had a conversation with an actual federal judge one time, and he told me that the system is not what you think, Brandon. The system is rigged. The system is it's like draft picks when it comes to jurors and all that shit. I mean, it blew my mind. I mean, when I had jury duty, I mean, that's another topic for another time, but it just blew my mind. But guys, it's a dangerous slope. Dangerous slope. Leave the Supreme Court alone. Now, let's go back to our COVID cases. So, apparently, about over a third of the population has gotten the COVID shots now, ladies and gentlemen, and hospitalizations are up despite 20% of them, actually over 33% of Americans at least 20% fully vaccinated. At least 33% of the population has got their first vaccine. Now, this is where I get a little sketchy. There's a reason, okay, and this is something that I think Trump should have backed off and not done. There is a set of procedures in place to test a vaccine over time to make sure it works, i.e. the flu vaccine, whatever vaccine you take, ladies and gentlemen, it has to go through rigorous testing. Any field with any type of chemical or anything that's used in the environment or in the body has to go through rigorous testing. We talked about this last podcast, but we're going to get a little more deeper into this. Now, this is where politics came into play last year. Trump rushed the damn vaccine through because he wanted to be the guy to say, I got the vaccines out. Because it was a damn election year. Let me ask you this. If this was not an election year, would those vaccines come out as fast? Who knows? I really think these pharmaceutical companies, ladies and gentlemen, I'm in the middle of a fight with pharmaceuticals right now. And let me get you a little deeper into my story. And I'm not going to bore you with it, but I'm just going to get a little real with you. So I've taken a pharmaceutical that's been on the market for over 10 years, I think 15 years if I'd have to do the research. And it came with a long list of side effects. But because of my rare disease, it was an option because my doctor feels that I could get partially or full. Yeah, well, I'm reading the article right here. I've had it. Who's left? The numbers are bullshit. Well, we're gonna get into that. It doesn't. Jarrett, and this is my cousin talking to me on the chat right now. If you in case you're not watching, I need to put the chat. You know what? I'll have to put the. Let me see something. I might be able to do that. Hold on. Let me do something, guys. Give me a quick second. I'm gonna put the chat on the screen. Let me do it this way so that at least y'all can see what I'm answering to. Okay, and we'll do it like that. Okay, that might work. So y'all gonna see something pop in here in just a second, and see, boom, there you go. So now y'all can see what I'm looking at. All right, cool. How about that? Now y'all can see who's talking to me. All right. So the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, is that what I'm going to talk about has nothing to do with how many people are vaccinated. That is not what I'm going to talk about. Yes, a lot of people have been vaccinated. Everybody's jumping on the bandwagon. And I'm calling the bandwagon because we have chosen not to take the shot. Okay, good for you, Dawn. That is your choice. And guys, self-reliance, not self-compliance. If you do what you feel you need to do. I'm about to get into why I'm not taking the shot in a second. And I'm going to go into pharmaceuticals. Okay, so back to what I was saying. Taking a pharmaceutical that's been on the market for 15 years after testing, okay? I start having side effects. Now, I call right away. I've been instructed. You call right away. You call the company. I've called 3 or 4 people about these damn side effects already. And what they tell me, keep on taking it. It might go away. It might do this. So after 2-3 months, since, actually it's been 4 months now, I finally had to put my foot down and make a direct phone call and make sure that this, and finally now they're going to switch me to another pharmaceutical. But here's the funny thing I found out. What I found out, ladies and gentlemen, was that the pharmaceutical that they want to switch me on now, I had to go through the other one to get to this point. What I'm saying is they actually wanted to put me on Entyvio from the beginning. But because my insurance company stepped in and said, no, you have to try Humira first. Okay? Kickbacks. It's all business. So people, instead of getting the best care possible, getting the best thing possible from the get-go, you got your goddamn insurance company in the middle of the shit fucking telling you, hey, you need to try this first because we know better. No, motherfucker, you don't. Are you my doctor? Are you the one to put a camera up my ass to see what the fuck's going on? No, you weren't. You were not. So what in the hell are you doing telling my doctor what he can and cannot do? So why do I bring this up? Ladies and gentlemen, don't you think it's funny that the insurance companies are paying for these vaccinations? I want you to think about that. The insurance companies are going to pay for your vaccinations. Okay? I guess because they don't want to pay, and I guess it's more of a mitigation thing. But the other question I have is, how long have these been tested? What's in these damn things? Ask, do yourself a favor. Ask what's in these shots. Now, right now, because I'm switching things, there's no way I can take this vaccine. And until they get me into a groove with the new med and it's working and they have it where, hey, Brandon, you're good, then I might consider it. But I have questions. I have a lot of questions. I just find it funny that shot was made that fast. I mean, the guys, if y'all don't know, coronavirus is a RNA virus. It mutates very quickly. There's things I've watched and I've researched, and I've researched the good and the bad, and I'm gonna actually have a podcast where I bring all the evidence that I have found to the public and say, look, this is what's the good part, and this is what these doctors say, but I have these doctors saying this. That's the problem. There's not a consensus of these. As many doctors that say that it's great, they have just as many doctors saying that these shots are dangerous. The problem is the media is not sharing that. And that's the problem in this country. The media is now being used as a political weapon. That's scary. So we're going through this, and look, that means more than 1/4 of all adult Americans are now fully vaccinated, okay? I want you to think about that. Over 1/4 of America is being vaccinated. Okay? So now it doesn't matter because we're getting more people having COVID. Why? I mean, at first they said, okay, we need, first of all, they told us, okay, don't worry about it when things was blowing up in China. And then they tell us, okay, all of a sudden we got to shut everything down. So we shut everything down. We still had cases all over the fucking place. Then you have vaccinations and you can go out and do whatever, and then it spikes up. So what's the deal? Are the vaccinations not working? Are people spreading this? Because I've heard information that people may be spreading this shit when they take the vaccination. So what's the deal? I have a coworker right now who took the Johnson & Johnson shot. He has the side effects, and now he has been told not to go to work because he can spread the shit. He might have the shit. They might have given him COVID. So what is it? Anybody know? No. It's because we have these people that are out on a whim, telling us all this shit that, of a disease that you have a 1 in 1 million chance of dying and 1 in 1 million chance of catching. I still don't understand. You have a better chance of getting in a car accident than getting this shit. I don't understand. And I'm a numbers guy, ladies and gentlemen. I hate to tell you, but I'm a numbers guy. Those are facts. Numbers are facts, okay? I mean, you could tell me, yes and that, but you want me to take something that there's a 1 in a million chance? I mean, I already have a rare disease. I mean, shit. The dice have all been rolled on my ass. I mean, but it is what it is, Upticks in infections have also been magnified in some regions of the country, like the upper Midwest. Well, guess what's in the upper Midwest? You see, this article is very, very tricky because it's a propaganda piece, if you haven't gotten it. Okay. The last massive worldwide inoculation we had was the 80s, and we got used to vaccines taking 10 years to make. The speed is simply attributed to our knowledge and ability to use genetics and therapies. It thinks it's less but not about the research. Hold on. There's a reason why they use 10 years that you don't know about. It's because long-term effects. So yeah, you can come up with a vaccination that from the get will protect you, but what's the long-term effects of this vaccination? That's the thing. That is what is mandated by the government until Trump took that out of the place. There's a 10-year research period. So what's the deal? It's not that a vaccine never took 10 years to make. It was always about testing it for 10 years to making sure it was safe. That was always the case. That's always should be the case, in my opinion. But I digress. Going back to the Midwest, this is a propaganda piece, ladies and gentlemen. You know why? Because South Dakota told the government go fuck itself, and we're not going to do a mass mandate. And believe it or not, their percentage of deaths is very low. I mean, yeah, people might have caught it, but you know, it is what it is. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, it's very simple. There's the data out here. I can go to either or website. The reason why I picked this website is just because it had numbers. Look, this is on New York Post. Okay, so I'm not, again, I'm not trying to handpick. It's in Fox News and CNN. I try to pick somewhere that maybe, the concern and transmission. And I've read the article, and Michigan and Minnesota increasing numbers because of the highly contagious UK variant. So so now if this doesn't protect you against B117, so you got to take a B117 shot next year, is this going to be like the flu shots? Okay, that's fine, but make sure but it just scares me that flu shots, you're willing, let's see, flu shots, I mean, they've been tested. So I'm just saying, ladies and gentlemen, you're willing to wait to see what the long-term effects are before you protect yourself. The public has decided to risk it because of the hype. Well, the public can risk it. I'm not the public. You see? Self-reliance, not self-compliance. Again, and I will say that. I'm probably going to put some on here from now on. Self-reliance, not self-compliance. Okay? I have to wait for the long-term effects because some people have autoimmune deficiencies. We have to. Okay? There are certain vaccines I cannot take. Okay? But I'm also not going to go around and having to wear a fucking mask and then take a shot either. It's called herd immunity. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. I guess my point in all this is that what they said was going to happen is not. So obviously their research is not working. I'm not saying don't take a vaccine. All I'm saying is they need to get their shit together instead of using like just throwing it's like throwing a dart on a board and say, okay, let's just try this. Look, I have doctors that were trying to do that to me because of side effects. I know what they're doing, and you know what? It's bullshit. So they need to get their shit together, and come to a consensus, not just having this group of scientists here saying this and this group of scientists here saying that. It's bullshit. And people are going to get hurt because of it. I know, I was in a little chat group earlier today. A person in that chat group had a loved one die because of that Johnson & Johnson shot. Now, it'll happen, but at the same time, that's the kind of shit that's going on right now, ladies and gentlemen. You don't know what to expect from these shots. They haven't been tested like they should have. The public wants to risk because of the hype. You know what? What should happen is they should have more information on this damn virus before they do anything. It's mutating. Yeah, it's an RNA virus. Guess what? It's a common cold virus, and that's what it does. How deadly is it? How do we, are we to the point where is there something there? It's either I'll use numbers. Either one, there's something they're not telling us, or another two, they're just using us to control. That's it. Either they know something about this virus that they're not telling us and they don't want to have the public panic about, or two, they're using this like sheep in a corral. You be the judge of that, ladies and gentlemen. That is you to judge. Okay? I'm just presenting information. Okay? So, as a way to combat the unwelcome uptick in cases, the federal government would prioritize and boost resources in hard-hit states, and that's great. But, again, what's going on here? What's going on? That's my question. What's going on? That's why I brought up this little article tonight. Now, speaking of another person that fell on his head, I want to play a little video for y'all. This is what scares the shit out of me. Okay? Listen.
So the best way to get something done, if you hold near and dear to you that you like to be able to, anyway.
was that? I'm sorry. But what the hell was that? What in the hell was that? I'm like that right there, ladies and gentlemen. That scares the living shit out of me. Let's continue. He just like
we're going to get a lot done, and if we have to, if there's complete lockdown and chaos as a consequence of the filibuster, then we'll have to go beyond what I'm talking about.
Okay. So you know this guy here. Okay. I'm sorry. And look, Trump did some shit too. I'm not gonna lie. Trump overstood his bounds on certain things too. But I'm gonna tell you, this guy, look, you got a teleprompter, okay? You need to be prepared. That kind of cognitive issue right there, that's you lose your thought, you can't even think. That's not good. You're the president of the free world, and you having issues like that. That is not a problem. That's a problem, ladies and gentlemen. That is a problem. Now, I'm not saying the guy has Alzheimer's or nothing, but that is alarming. On national TV, our president pulls that shit. Now, Trump would overdo himself, and he was an egomaniac. I get it. Okay, I get it. But this right here, this is not good. This is not good. Not good. He's talking about, he's going to do executive orders if you really knew what was going on.
Okay. Hang on.
Look.
Sorry.
Look. Not prepared. He's the president of the United States. He's not fucking prepared. Gosh. Let's see. Every time we get control and begin to bring back our economy, a new strain will be found and the vaccine will be obsolete. Yeah, it's convenient. Yes. I'm getting to, oh yeah, of course. Again, it's a method of control. It's the ultimate control. Control by biological means. They tried other things. They tried taxes. They've tried patriotism, control, get everybody on it. They've tried everything. So now they're trying a different way. And by talking about elitists. I'm talking about the Bill Gates and all these fuckers. But we're not going to talk about that on this podcast. So you see this guy, he's lost. This is your president, ladies and gentlemen. This is your president. And look, I want whatever president we have, I want them to be successful. I want them to help everybody though, not just his fucking party. Why do I say that? Because of this. Now, first of all, disclaimer. This is the presidential executive order on guns. You might think I'm gonna rip this thing apart, but ladies and gentlemen, there's actually some good stuff in here. Okay, again, it's to prove that I want success. I'm not here to just bash a party. Let's not talk about Kamala, okay? I call her Kamala because of the wrestler. I knew the guy, met the guy. Kamala. Let's not talk about Miss Harris. Let's call her Miss Harris. Let's not talk about Miss Harris right now. We're going to talk about this. Now, these are the actions. These are the presidential actions on it was executive order on guns that he passed this week. Okay, so the Justice Department within 30 days will issue a proposed rule to help stop the proliferation of ghost guns. So ghost guns are pretty much guns without serial numbers. Okay? Now, during his speech, he did bring up a good point, and I never knew this, but anybody who buys parts for AR-15s, the uppers, the lowers, if you're a gun guy, you know this. There's no serial number on them. Kind of interesting. Why not have a serial number? I think that's a good idea. Put a serial number. At least, you can track the shit. Somebody steals your shit. I think that's a great idea. Identification marker. I don't know. You're not taking anything from you. Just put a stamp on it. And you have to go through, you also have to go through the same, like if you're going to buy an upper or lower, you'd have to get a background check. Again, there's nothing wrong with that. I have no problem with that. You shouldn't have to go through that shit so you can't build a gun. Okay? Okay, within 60 days, we issue a proposed rule to make clear when a device marketed as a stabilization brace effectively turns a pistol into a short-barreled rifle, subject to the requirements of a National Firearms Act. So, this goes to the Boulder shooter. Look, I think they're missing the point in this. I think that criminals are always going to find a way to get guns. The law has to have a number. Well, some of them, Jared, they don't. Like there are some places I've seen that doesn't have one, so I don't know what's going on. What he said was just make sure they have a serial number. I'm cool with that, and if they have them, then great. But they just want to put that in legislation or whatever. I don't know what the hell. They don't research shit, dude. They think that the fucking a single shot fucking AR-15 is like can do more damage than like 30-06 when a 30-06 can blow a hole the size of a freaking big ass hole in your head because of the but they don't know. Okay, so just remember when we talk about this, we're not talking that they know what's going on. Hey Ken, what's up? So all right, so back to what we're saying. So within 60 days, proposal rule. So the stabilization is this thing, this brace that like it holds it in place and you can just shoot it like this, whatever. I mean, they're talking about making that the same requirements as like a silencer that you have to pay a fee and get your name registered. I don't know. I mean, to me, the guy can go in with a fucking shotgun. He's gonna do the same shit. A pistol. What they don't understand, they talk about making a short barrel rifle. No, dumbass. It's a 9mm pistol can go far. I mean, again, people don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but whatever. Okay. I think that one's kind of dumb. The Justice Department within 60 days will publish the model red flag legislation for states. So, okay, so if you don't know what a red flag law, this is when somebody in your family can go, can be dug with a freaking broom with a string on the trigger. These laws, yes, Jared, I'm getting to that. Yes. So, red flag laws. Now, if you don't know what a red flag law is, this is when somebody in your family can deem you incapacitated, that they think you're crazy, that you can be a risk to shoot yourself or whatnot, and they can come take your guns. I don't know about that. I mean, I think personally, if there was a red flag law, I think there should be some type of evaluation from a medical personnel to deem that, and then if they deem that, then go ahead and take them from you. If you're a threat to yourself, that's fine, but just for somebody to say that and then they can take your shit, that's fucked up. So I'm hoping if they make something like that, it has to be where they have to have a medical evaluation before anything can be done, because that's encroaching on your rights. It's bad enough he wants to do a law, they can just come take your shit without a warrant, and that's going to the Supreme Court soon. I hope they fucking do their job there. So the administration is investing in evidence-based community violence intervention. So pretty, that's kind of good. I mean, they want to make sure there's certain communities that are prone to violence. That's all right. They want to issue an annual report on firearms trafficking. Well, guess what? That's part of the problem. There's the big problem. No, that Jack, again, I don't know if you heard what I said. That's dangerous ground. Yes. That's why I said if they're going to do some red flag shit, they have to have some, like a medical professional go in there, and they can't just do it. I agree with that. They can't. Where to stop? Who decides? You're right. But at the same time, they do have people that are dangerous to themselves. I mean, it is what it is. But at the same time, they have to have a medical, like a real, an expert, medical doctors, non-biased opinion, or have a panel of 3 or whatever, just somebody back, but, so, annual report on firearms trafficking, that's where a lot of your illegal guns are on the black market. Yeah, they need to do something about that. They never have. All the guns going, Obama let all those guns go over the fucking border, but didn't do nothing about that. Yeah, kind of bullshit. And then the president will nominate David Chipman to serve as director of ATF. Whatever. So, some of this is okay. Some of this they need to really, they really need to, watch. Now, In this statement, the reason why I got this, because I'm going into my last subject. The last subject is going to be heated. Because he made a statement in that fucking speech that I took offense to. The power of the Constitution is not absolute. Well, motherfucker, it is. The power of the Constitution is absolute, you dumb shit. Yes, our president said that. Our president said that our powers, our laws are not absolute. Well, the Constitution, it is. It is, as you can see up here. The Constitution, it is. Okay? So, what it does, it establishes a separation of powers between the United States, federal government branches, and the states. It governs it all. It is absolute, you dumb shit. Okay? Division of federal and state power. All powers that are not enumerated by, all powers not stated to the federal government are enumerated by the states. Okay? Even tells you the structure of the federal government. And even, I hate when people don't know their constitution. I can't stand it. I'm big on this, because this is the law of the land. This is the law that everybody should know. You should have a copy of the Constitution with you at all times to protect yourself, because there's a lot of laws in here that protects you. There are a lot of protections from the federal government, and it's absolute. I don't fucking care what the president said. He's a dipshit. Who's going to enforce that the Constitution is absolute? Well, funny you say that, because there is a court ruling that states in a state, the highest law enforcement agency that makes that call, it is the county sheriff. And it's even over federal authorities. So the county sheriff or parish sheriff it is the top ranking executive branch member in a county. So that might answer your question. Who's going to enforce that the Constitution is absolute? Well, the states will. That's what will happen, and that touches on what's going to happen. You know earlier in the podcast, come on, man. Well, let me continue my discussion here and stop laughing out loud, David. So the problem is this: there are states that are already, defying this executive branch. Okay, they're already doing it. They're doing it purposely. Okay, they're doing it because they know they are prepared to do what they need to do if something happens. When it talks about this nationwide mask mandate, some of these states just told the president go fuck himself. Pretty much that's what happened, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, but like I said, our president made a statement that the powers of the Constitution are not absolute. Well, so what are you telling us? Are you going to go ahead and have Congress destroy our Constitution? Well, guess what? It needs a vote. Oh, but then again, what's going to happen? They're going to bring the immigrants, and get all these people that aren't going to vote properly, and it's a mess. So that's why some of these states are being prepared, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to get bad. This is going to get very ugly very quickly. And it's going to, and I'm going to tell you, I said earlier in the podcast, there's going to be one thing that's going to trigger all this. It's going to be a gun grab. I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be a gun grab. Once they start it, and they will, mark my words, the Democratic Party are afraid of guns. They always have been, always will be. This administration is coming after us. There's a reason why Kamala Harris is VP. She arrested more motherfuckers in California than anybody ever as the attorney general, district attorney, whatever the hell she was. Guys, this woman is dangerous. There's a reason why I played, Bumpy Joe earlier. I call him Bumpy Joe because Bumpy Joe has no clue what's going on. That is scary. When have you ever had the VP always? When did you have the VP always introducing the president? That's never happened. You ever saw fucking Pence fucking doing the shit that Harris is doing? No. Why? Because they're getting the public used to Harris talking more and more. Okay? It's a psychological thing that they're doing. They're getting you ready. They're salting the fish before they feed it to you. That's all they're doing. Okay? It's coming. But a gun grab is coming. They are setting this up. That is the one thing. The NRA, they're already in on it. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, that is the one thing they know. If they want to break the Republican Party, they take their weapons. That's how they think. Now, what's going to happen is very simple, and it's already starting to happen. Like, they put Lafayette, Louisiana on the news, a couple months ago because we weren't following any mandates. We weren't following any of the the mass mandates and whatever. And what happened? Nothing. We just kept on doing it. Some of these states, some of these communities are saying, kiss my ass, I'm going to live my life. And that's what's going on. That's what's going to go on, ladies and gentlemen. You need to realize that right now. And you need to pick a side in the sense of how you're going to get things later on. Now, I'm going to tell you something. There's some things, and I'm in these next few podcasts, I'm really going to touch on them, but this one I'm not. This one we're talking more of, the gun grab and the COVID shots and whatnot. But I'm not going to talk about some of the other things that you need to do. I will tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm gonna be real for you for just a second. That if you need to prepare yourself to for what's coming. Okay, it might not be tomorrow, it might not be even this year, but soon things are gonna get bad. Okay, things are gonna get bad, and this is knowing this, the functions of the Constitution, knowing you can protect you for at least a little bit. People are tribal by nature. Okay, and that's what this shot thing is playing on the map. See, they did it in steps. Okay, psychologically, ladies and gentlemen, they did this in steps. So let me go back here. Yeah, so y'all can see me. So sorry if I don't have the what you call it up, but I still can see y'all talking. I can still see y'all talking. Y'all guys on Facebook can. Everything's been Facebook chat tonight. But lost audio, huh? You lost audio. You lost audio, huh? Everybody else lose audio? I can hear me. I can hear me. I can hear me like that. I don't know if you must have a crappy computer or something like that. But guys, you need to be ready for what's coming. Okay? You need to be prepared. If you think the stock market is going to stay up forever, then you are sadly mistaken. But it's not in the way that you think. If something takes more dollars to buy, is that good for you? I want you to think about that. If it takes more dollars to purchase something, is that good for you? Is that good for you, ladies and gentlemen? No, it's not. It won't be at all. It's going to take more money to purchase something. That means your buying power is going bye-bye. And that's what's going on. It's silently doing it. And guess what? It did it on the Trump campaign, whether you liked it or not. The government wants inflation because it shows artificial growth, but what it does is put you in more debt. It's a debt-based economy. The more debt, the more the economy booms, but it's all debt. It's a bond. It's you're not, money is actually silver coins and gold coins. That's actual money. Get you some, okay? Get you some. Get you some money. Your dollar bills, your credit card, your debit card ain't worth a fucking thing. If you're smart, you'll get some shit, to protect yourself. Don't, and look, I'm telling you guys, be prepared, be prepared, be prepared, because I'm telling you, things are not going to be good. But let me know, in the last couple, minutes I'm going to be here, let me know how you like the background. I'm using Chroma Cam. Let me kind of just show you what it can do. So, you know, I can do this. Ooh, I can fly like this. I can be in California. I could be against a brick wall. I can be at near Palms in the Ferris wheel. You know, this goofy shit. This goofy shit. Green screen, like a pretend green screen. I kind of like this. But you know, I'm starting to really push the podcast again. Gonna be streaming at least one time a week, you know, on the weekends. Maybe once during the weekday if I can, depending on Brick all the way. The Brick, you like this? Oh my God, that's just horrible. I mean, I'd have to find a way. I mean, I might be able to do the Brick. Might do the Brick. I'm just kind of playing around with it. I mean, you know, I did like the Brick, and then you can do other things like you can do faders, and I'm not gonna do all that shit. But it's Chroma Cam. If you do podcasting, you know, it's $29 one time. It's nice. I really like it. I've been pretty impressed with it. So, you know, I tested it out before I came on, and I was like, you know what? I got it working, and I tried tonight, and I bought it. So I really like it. I don't know, like, you know, with the, you see how it kind of, you know, does, like, it hides, I guess, the microphone right here, like, further on over here. It's kind of weird, like, if I put my hand. But the cool thing is I don't need a green screen. So if you're going to do podcasting or whatnot, you know, you can use this. You don't need a green screen, and then you can kind of protect what's behind you. You know, now all of you have known, you know, everybody knows that, you know, have seen my background, but you know, with more and more listeners, I think I'm gonna go ahead and maybe change it. You know, all the good stuff. That's just me. Now let me know. But what I want from you guys, number one, please promote the podcast. I mean, I'm streaming on Twitch TV. That's twitch.tv/Coonass podcast. I'm streaming on Facebook, Facebook Live, as most of you know, and then I'm also streaming on YouTube under my account, Brandon Lopez. So, guys, you know, reach out, push the podcast. I'm also, check out pilled.net. I'm trying to get a live stream on there every weekend on there. I'm working with Crypto Beatles on that. Robert Beatles, he's part, I guess, proprietor of the website. And I'm trying to, you know, guys, I'm trying to do this podcast for people, you know, people who want to listen to it. So, look, promote the podcast. Look, we're not, again, this podcast will show all angles. You know, if you have an angle you want me to check out on an argument, then present it, you know. But present it. Don't, you know, if you want to be quick to downplay something, that's fine. But give me facts, and I'll research the facts. You know, we'll do that. Other than that, guys, you know, it's about that time where I do this. You know, and we shake our head like this. So, guys, thank you once again, and always remember, don't be a shit.